Hi everyone, this is a quick start guide for Minecraft Education Edition. I'm Nikos Bafidis from the Junior and Senior School in Cyprus, Nicosia, and I'm going to show you how to get started playing Minecraft and how to start programming your agent as well. So the first thing we're going to do, we're going to create a new world. And we're going to change some of these settings here. So first thing I'm going to do is I don't want survival mode. Survival mode is an excellent game, but you've got to go against the elements and make sure you're safe the first night, collect your own materials, so on and so forth. We're going to go straight into creative mode. This will allow us to have unlimited amount of blocks, and we're able to build peacefully without having any mobs attacking us. So we're going to leave that as peaceful. We're going to creative. We're going to go to, instead of infinite world, we're going to go to a flat world. So this is an infinite world. So you get an infinite world with like trees and mountains and different weather conditions. We're just going to go to a flat world, which is going to allow us to build without any obstacles. Further down, we've got some more things. I like clicking on show coordinates because that helps students have a good understanding of how coordinates work in a three-dimensional plane. Immediate respawn, don't need that, we're not going to die. Cheat, I'm going to activate cheats. I'm going to activate the code builder so we're able to make our agent appear, and I'm also going to click on always day because while I'm building, especially if I'm a beginner, I don't want to have to wait for it to go from day to night to see clearly what I'm doing. If I want to see any of the other classroom settings, I can click on the tab here. And we've got here again, perfect weather. I don't want rain or anything. I just want a flat canvas so that I can build. And there are some other settings here that you can see as well. You can allow mobs like, I don't know, pigs and cows to be walking around. I leave them there. They're quite fun. And that's basically it. So once you've got these settings set up, we're going to click on play and we're going to wait for Minecraft to set up our world. And here's our world. This is our flat world. So here you can see that we've got the coordinates. We're in position 0, 4, 0. Okay, and you can see in the bottom left it says H show controls. So if I press the H button on my keyboard, I can see the controls which will allow me to move around and fly. So WASAD, that's forward, back, left and right. So if I press W, I go forward, S goes backwards, A goes left and D goes right. If I want to look around, I move my mouse. Okay, so if I move over here and I'm facing that piglet, then I press W, I'm going forward. Okay, and if I just hold the W button, I'm going forward, and I just move the mouse around, then I can be moving in any direction I want because I'm moving forward in the direction that I'm looking. Okay, there's the piglet. Okay, backwards and left and right. So jump, we press the space bar to jump. That's one jump. 2 times the space bar will make you fly. So if I press the space bar quickly, like tap, tap, and then hold it down. So I'm going to do tap, tap and hold, and that allows me to fly. And now if I press the space button, I can go higher and higher every time I press it. If I want to go down, I can press the shift button on my keyboard and that flies downwards. Okay, if I want to drop down, in other words to stop flying, then I can press space 2 times. So tap, tap, and you drop to the ground. So if I want to jump, it's space. If I want to start flying, double tap and hold, and then I can let go, and then to drop down, double tap again. There we go. Okay, then we've got the inventory and the code builder. Let's have a look at the inventory. So on your inventory, we press E. That shows you everything that's available to you. So you can see these things in categories. For example, you've got like building materials here. You've got weapons and costumes that you can wear. You've got things like furniture and other things. But if you click here, this is like landscaping. If you click on the magnifying glass, you actually see everything that's available to you. Okay, including like potions and chemicals and any kind of blocks that you want. On the right hand side here, you've got the different views. So here you can see what's available in your backpack here, what you've got carrying around with you in your inventory, and here you can just see your area here. So what's available to you and what clothes you're wearing. So if I press escape or press E again, that vanishes. Now down here at the bottom you can see the how many we've got, 3, 6, 9 squares. 9 squares at the bottom which are empty. That's your backpack. So in there you can add things so that you can build with. Right now I don't have anything there. If I want to scroll from one item to the other, I'm simply moving the wheel on the mouse backwards and forwards. Okay, and that's choosing a different box. You can see that there. So first thing I want to do is add some building material. So I'm going to press E, and then I'm going to find the material that I want to build with. So you can either be searching for something, let's say concrete. So these are the different types of concrete. Moving your mouse over them shows you the different types of concrete you've got here. So I'm going to go for, let's say, I don't know, let's go for a red concrete. So I'm going to click once, and then I'm going to click here to add that to my inventory. And I'm going to add, let's say, a black concrete as well. So this time I'm going to click, hold, and just drag and let go, and then click again. Okay, so you're going to click once and then click again, and you've added it. So if I press E again, I go back, and you can see now I've got blocks to build with. So to choose the block you want, we said we move the button, the wheel on the mouse. Now this tutorial is focused on a Windows 10 base version. On a laptop version with a mouse, it's not a touchscreen only version. So I'm not showing you the tablet version or the PlayStation version. This is if you're using the keyboard to move around and you've got an external mouse as well. Okay, so if I want to build, let's say, with a yellow block on the mouse, we have so here it is. I've got 2 buttons. My index finger rests on the left click. My middle finger rests on the right click. So the left and right buttons have different functions. If I press the left button, you can see here this square in front of me is highlighted with a thin black line. As I move, I'm showing which face I'm going to place the block. So if I put it there and click the left button, I break the block. If I click here and press the right button, I build a block. So again, if I want to put a block on top of this, I select this face of the cube. There we go. And if I want to put, let's say, a black one on top, I'm going to move the wheel of the mouse so I can choose the one I want. So I'm going to choose black. I'm going to, if I click right click here, it's going to put a black block here. If I put the cross on the top face and right click, it puts it on top. Okay. So if I go over here and choose the yellow brick, and I have my cross, that hairline cross, on this face of the black block, and right click, there we go. Okay, and I put another one there. Now if I want to put something on top, I need to fly up. So I'm going to double press, and then I'm going to move down a bit. Okay, and I'm going to right click on there as well. If I want to put a red block here now on the top, I'm going to select the red block, right click on this surface here where my cross is, and there we go. Now if I go too high, I can't add a block. You see, I'm right clicking because I'm too high, I'm too far away. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to move down. Can you see here I can actually select that face? You can actually see that thin black line highlighting that top face. That means I can add a block. If I move up a bit, there you go, I don't get that thin black line there. So if I move down, there you go. Now I can select where I'm going to put my block. So let's say there. If I want to break a block, again, as long as I'm close enough and I can select the block by highlighting it with that little thin black line, the outline, use the left click, I can break. Okay, and that's basically the art of building. So if I drop down now, double click on the space, and now what I'm going to do, I'm going to move backwards, and I'm going to, if I press first of all right click, right click, right click, and if I, as I'm moving backwards, I keep the right click pressed, okay, you can see I'm placing blocks. Now I can go over this side and right click, and as I'm moving backwards with the S button, and then I keep the right button pressed, it keeps building. Okay, if I've gone too far, I want to break, I use the left button. Click, 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 and I can break all of these blocks. Okay, now some people, what they do, especially in the flat world, they get a little bit carried away and they start digging downwards. So if you start digging downwards, you can see you get to the bottom of the world. Okay, so if I click that, you can see I'm falling now. I'm falling. So now I'm going to press double space to fly, and I can fly up. And if you can't find the hole where you dropped out of, you can fly up, look upwards, and start breaking the blocks around you. Okay, just keeping the left button pressed, and then you can fly up some more. Okay, and there you go. And it's always a good idea to drop down, so double space, and block that hole so you don't fall down again. Okay, so that's building and breaking. Okay, I'm back, and what we're going to do now, we're going to see how we can program in Minecraft Education Edition. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to go back into my world. I'm going to press escape, and here's my flat world. Now what I'm going to do, the first thing is I'm going to press C on my keyboard, and by pressing C, if we have a look at the help screen, there we go, C will actually give us the code builder. So here we go, pressing C. And if you haven't opened the code builder before, you're going to see a screen that looks like this. Okay, and this is where you're going to choose the code builder of your choice. Now you may get a full screen like this, or if you click on this button, you're going to see a half screen where you're going to choose. So this button here will put you in full screen, half screen. Okay, personally I prefer the full screen. Now the choice that we're going to use is going to be the Microsoft Makecode. So I'm going to click on this one, and if you've used Microsoft Makecode before, you're going to see a screen like this. Now possibly you're not going to have these projects here because you haven't created any projects yet, but if you have created any projects, they will be listed here. So once you get this screen, again you can go to half screen or full screen. If you've opened Makecode before at any point, then you're going to go directly into this screen. So since I've opened this now, if I close my Makecode and click C on my computer, there we go, on my keyboard, it takes me directly into this code of choice. So what happens if you selected the wrong one? Well, I'm going to click here at the top, and just click cancel. So this button here will allow me to go back, click OK, and now I can choose my Makecode of choice. Okay, so I'm going to go back to this one. Okay, so we're going to create a new project. I'm going to show you just a couple of things based on the first lesson that we did, and that's how we can create like a yellow brick road. So when our player is moving around, the player will actually be building a yellow brick road. So I'm going to go over the programming that we've done the first lesson. I'm going to start a new project, and I'm going to give it a name. The name should always represent what the program is about, and that way when you have many projects, you know which project is for what. So I'm going to call this yellow path and rain, and you're going to see why. So I'm going to click on create. So this is our interface. This is block mode, so we can choose. We've got different categories here separated by colors, and depending on the category or the color, you've got different types of commands or blocks you can add in your programming area here. You've got the block view, or you can go to JavaScript view, and you can go backwards and forwards to go between the two. I do advise when you do write a piece of code or you add some code or some blocks, you go to the JavaScript and look at the actual program and see what it's actually adding. I'll give you a little bit of understanding of programming and how the visual effect of the blocks are represented in actual code. So you can start with these commands. I'm going to start from a blank. So I'm going to click on this and just drag this any area, and you can see you get the delete just to get rid of those from there. Okay, so the project we want to create is going to be when the player moves, we want the player to be adding a block beneath, which will be a yellow block. So we're going to look at the category here for player. Just zoom that in a little bit more. There we go. So player, and I'm going to choose the block which says on player walk. So I'm going to click and drag this into my programming area here. Okay, so that adds the function. So when the player is going to be walking, and you can change this function here, so when the player falls, when he flies, so on and so forth. But this one, we're going to choose the default one when the player is walking. So what we want to do is when the player is walking, we want the player automatically to be placing a block beneath his feet. So I'm going to go to blocks, and I've got a whole list of different blocks I've got here, and I'm going to choose the command here, place a particular block in a particular position. Okay, so I'm just going to click this, and then if I drag this in my programming area here and let go, you can see it's grayed out and it's got these yellow lines going through it. That means this thing isn't connected to any part of the program. So I'm just going to slide this in, and you can see that that fits in that position there. The next step is to decide what block I'm going to be placing. So if you click on this, you can choose any block you want, and you can also search. I'm going to go for concrete. Oop, if I spelled it correctly, and I'm going to choose my yellow concrete block. Okay, the next one is, as the player is walking, where do we want this block to be placed? Now, this is where you have to understand a little bit about coordinates. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take a quick screenshot of this, and let's just bring this over here. There we go. And I'm going to put this in my whiteboard. And let's just make that a little bit bigger. There we go. So essentially, let's have a look over here in this picture here. You've got, if this is the position where you are standing, right at this point here, let's say that's you, that's your player. Now you've got three coordinates, x, y, and z. So negative numbers of x will place towards the west, positive numbers towards east. Negative numbers of z will place north, positive numbers of z will place south. Positive numbers of y will be above you. So if you're going to put, say, 4 blocks on then the number 4 on the y value, that's going to be 4 blocks above you. If you put negative numbers, then that will be below ground. Now, ground level, if this is the level of the ground, and this is you standing on the ground there, very bad picture, and you place on 0, it's going to place the block on the ground right there, touching. If you place, so that's at 0. If you put y on -1, then the block is going to go underground, but the top part of the block will be seen. That will be there. And if you go -2, obviously the block will be placed 2 blocks underground, so you won't be able to see the block at all. So going over here, if the first number is always the x value, the middle number is the y value, and the last number is the z value. So essentially, because we want to place the block as we are walking, if this is us, this is our player, as the player moves along, we want our player to be placing a yellow block, so you get the yellow, underneath on ground level. So as the player moves along, it will place a block underneath. If we use, let's say, a positive number for y, so this will be a -1 for y. If I use 0 for y, then it will put the yellow blocks on ground level. And if I use a positive number for y, it will be placing them above the player as the player walks. Okay, so let's do that now. Go back to our code. So I want, as the player moves forward, I want this to be placed just underground level. So I'm going to put it on -1. And to start my program, I'm going to click on play. There we go. Now, I don't need to have inventory for this to work, so I can just choose nothing there. As I start moving forward, you're going to say, well, where is my blocks? If I look back, there they are. So if I move backwards, you can see it places the yellow block everywhere I go as I walk. So I'm making a yellow brick road. Okay? And let's just change that. So if I press C again on my keyboard, I can go back. And if I change this, let's say, to a positive number, so let's say, make it a bit higher, make it 4. and press play. And now if I'm looking up, I'm going to walk backwards so we can actually see. We can see it's placing the blocks above me. Okay, and if we change the numbers a little bit, so press C again, I'm going to change this so it goes, if you remember from here, if I use a negative number for X, it will be to the west, positive east, negative for Z is north, positive is south. So if I go back now and change that to, let's say, a -2, oh, let's just click in there, -2, and I'm going to put, let's say, a positive number there, 2. So this is going to be -2 for X, +2 for Z. So that basically means -2, I'm going to be placing the block, 2 blocks, 1, 2, and then +2. So my block will be placed from where I am in this position here. Okay. And if I leave, if I change also the number to -1, it will place it on the ground. So let's try that now. So as I start moving backwards, where are my blocks? Can you see? As I'm moving here, the blocks are being placed 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay. There we go. Perfect. All right. So now that's basically putting the elaborate ground. And you can add different things. So instead of placing a block, you can actually do the fun part and place flowers. Let's say I'm going to be, well, let's put some fire coral and press play. And as I start moving along, I get fire coral. If I want to put, and that's going -1. So if I want that on the ground level, because I don't think we're going to have fire coral there, let's just go to C. Let's change it to flowers this time. Let's see what kind of flowers we can find. Let's just type up here flower. Let's put some blue flowers, and I'm going to put these on ground level now. So 0 for Y, press play, and now as I start walking around, I'm placing some nice pretty flowers. Okay, excellent, good. Okay, the next program I want to show you very quickly is how we can make it rain chickens. Okay, so I'm going to press C. So this action here, if we look at JavaScript, it actually shows you that the function on player travel, so when the player travels by method of walking, that's the name of the function, then it's going to do this. Blocks are placed, and it says cornflower, that's the blue flower, in position -202. This time I want to write a command, so when I type the command rain, it starts raining chickens. So to do this, it's not going to start raining chickens when you do something, but when you give the command. So I'm going to go now to basic, on chat command. Okay, let's just zoom that out just a little bit. Oh, that's too much. There we go. Good. Now on chat command, I'm not going to write the word jump and make it rain, so I might as well type the command rain. So when I type the command rain, I want it to rain chickens. And chickens is basically a mob which gets spawned. So I'm going to go to mobs, and I'm going to say spawn an animal. So let's try that one. Okay, and let's just bring this here. So I want it to rain. Now rain means it has to come from the sky. So they have to be spawned above my head. So that makes sense that I'm going to use a positive number for Y. So I'm going to put, say, a number like 20. So it's going to spawn the chickens 20 blocks above me from where I am. And by the time they fall down, it's going to look like it's raining. So you can choose the type of animal here. So you've got different animals, let's say bats, and you've got cows. I'm going to put a chicken. Cows, when they land from such a high place, they'll probably die. So I'm going to press play. Okay, I'm going to move along. As I'm moving along, I'm still placing flowers, you can see, because this command works when the player is moving. But now what I'm going to do, I'm going to press, let me press H to get rid of this. There you go, get rid of that help window there. I don't need it anymore. I'm going to press T. T is your chat section. So if I now type the name of the function which I created, rain, and press enter, and I look up, there are my chickens. So if I move away, there we go. Oh, but that's only one chicken. I want it to rain more than one chicken. So let's go back to our program, and this time we're going to want to repeat this many times. So the more times we repeat this command, we can do this. Right click duplicate and put that there. So that's basically going to create 2 chickens. Okay, but if I want it to rain, let's say I want 100 chickens, I'm going to remove this one, and I'm going to get a loop, and I'm going to choose a loop which will allow me to repeat as many times as I like. So I'm going to click on this, I'm going to put that there, and I'm now going to put this inside this loop. So basically right now this command will repeat whatever's inside this green section 4 times. I'm going to change that. In fact, I'm not going to change it from here. We're going to change it from the JavaScript. Let's go have a look. So here's my command. This is the command when the player walks. It's going to add cornflowers in the position -202. And this here is a player on chat. So this is when the player chats. When the player chats and writes the word rain, it's going to carry out this function. And it says, for let index, which is a variable, start at 0. As long as it's less than 4, it's going to repeat this command. And every time it repeats this command, it will add 1 to the value index. So index starts off at 0, it will spawn a chicken. Index goes to 1. That's less than 4, so it's going to repeat it. It's going to add 1. Index becomes now 2. 2 is less than 4, so it's going to repeat this. Once it repeats it, it adds 1 to index. It becomes 3. 3 is less than 4, so it's going to do this again. Once it does that, it adds 1 to index. Index becomes 4. 4 is not less than 4, so it will stop. So it's going to repeat this thing 4 times. So if I want to repeat it 100 times, then I just need to change this number, and I'm going to put that to 100. Okay, so as long as it's less than 100, so from 0 to 99, it will repeat 100 times. Let's try that and play. And if I go back to blocks and my code is correct, it would actually show me, there you go, it's changed it to 100. Okay, so let's press play. So I'm going to move forward. I'm going to press C, not C, I'm going to press T, the letter T on the keyboard for the chat, and I'm going to type rain. And now, if I look in the sky, look at that, 100 chickens raining. Way! Look at all those chickens. That's it, guys. That's it for this lesson. So we've learned the basics of building in Minecraft. We've learned a little bit of programming, and we've made it rain chickens. Have fun coding.